All right. Welcome to the Todd Pod, where we are talking about all things Todd.
And all things pod.
And all things pod. Pod people. Todd people.
Pod Todds.
That's right. Wilson,
welcome
what's
to
going
the
on?
show. Well, today we're talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. And why they are some of the greatest of all time.
They're literally the best things to watch ever. Like, tell me if you're...
The most underrated actor of all time.
Probably
Definitely.
should do some Shakespeare, I think.
He probably has. At some point.
Somewhere, yeah, in Belgium. So, at what point when you're going around the channels, right, do you see Bloodsport is on and you just stop everything and just watch?
I like to watch more towards the end of Bloodsport, but when he's kicking some A in the tournament, but he does the crotch shot, does the splits, and does the crotch shot.
He grabs him right in the nuggets.
That's why. I mean, you just wait kind of the whole movie just for him to do the splits, to drop
legs
down, come up,
and buries his fist right up in the guy's conjoined twins.
And I don't think I've ever seen like a slow motion reaction before, like when he like goes for the kill or something in the movie, he goes.
It's like he's trying to imitate the I can't. It's like he's trying to imitate the Bruce Lee. I'm grieving because we're actually killing you.
Oh my God.
I'm hitting you, but it's painful for me to hit you. Thing.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that as a kid. I was just like, even I was confused. Like, it was like slow motion. Is that how? That's not any kind of like karate yell. Like, no one teaches you that, right? You just have to kind of.
No, you got to work on that as you're driving.
You got to just learn it
in Los Angeles. And you're looking in the rearview mirror, just slow motion in your.
Yeah, so we've got that movie, and we've got the first movie that I ever saw was Cyborg.
Oh God, that was a good one.
Yeah, he plays a soldier who, I guess he becomes like half human, half cyborg.
No, in Cyborg, he's the human that's trying to get people away from the cyborg.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, and the cyborg he's.
Yeah, I met that guy who played the cyborg once. Oh, he was an awesome guy. Awesome guy. He's like such an intimidating, like.
But what did you?
Because he was also the bad guy in Cobra.
Where did you meet him?
I was at the Malibu Inn. He was eating breakfast, and I was serving breakfast, and he was sitting at the bar eating his eggs.
And you knew that was him? You're like, hey, you're the cyborg.
Dude, that guy looks. Come on, it's the same. He's got that jaw, that massive jaw. I forget his name. Anyway, he was really cool. I think he passed away recently. Anyway.
Probably.
The first movie in the United States that Jean-Claude Van Damme did was the movie Breakin', where he has the uncredited dancer role in the opening dance sequence.
You can find that on YouTube everywhere, where he's just kind of doing his breaking.
Doing the little dancey dance.
Who were the guys in Breakin'? There was Turbo, and there was I
don't know, but
there's the other guy in Breakin'. Can't remember, but
Frankie Pirouette Man.
Frankie Pirouette Man.
Backspinny guy.
Remember did you ever break dance when you were younger? Yeah, man. You bring out the cardboard.
The cardboard box. You make it happen. Right?
You have your parachute pants on, and you try to spin, but I was never any good, so I just kind of went like this the whole time.
I was always like, how can I get on one hand and do the hand?
Just kind of turn like that.
The hand spin. And then there were the guys that just rotated on their shoulder, where they just like, they did the helicopter with their...
On their head.
They did the helicopter with their legs just spinning continuously.
I had some friends who were pretty good at that, but I was never very good at all. I could never spin on my head. I don't know. I just wasn't very good at dancing. I've never been good at dancing.
But then Van Damme did Bloodsport. And if you'll notice, right, and I'm looking at the movie posters, this is why.
Mm-hmm.
He did some serious work on his arms. Because if you look at the movie posters for Bloodsport, then Kickboxer, then Lionheart and Death Warrant, each of those were basically him holding his fist to the camera and just the whole length of his arm with no sleeves, and they had like oiled his arm up, and like it's just him flexing. His deltoids out, right? It's the same pose, and then.
But does his arm get bigger every movie?
By Lionheart, it was pretty huge, and then in Death Warrant, they decided to put a T-shirt on him, thinking they could contain him.
You can't though.
Yeah, no. and then they could find no one that could actually star with him, so he starred with himself in Double Impact.
Played the twin. He played the twin.
But the funny part, and this is like what cracks me up about his movies. They always give some reason why he's got this Belgian accent, right?
Yeah,
like he's either like from Louisiana or he's like a French Canadian firefighter.
They always had to explain him like you would never believe he existed in real life unless they had that. You have to have that explanation, otherwise this would be just be too unbelievable.
Guys, we can't just accept that this guy has an accent for no apparent reason. We have to actually explain his family heritage somehow. And then he stars with Dolph Lundgren in Universal Soldier, which was all kinds of butt kicking.
I like Dolph from the Blade Runner movies. His speech at the end. Wish I could remember it. Something about
Blade
time.
Runner?
Yeah, in Blade Runner. Isn't that Dolph Lundgren?
That's Rutger Hauer.
Oh, yeah. That's what I meant. I don't know anything what I'm doing, man.
So then you get Hard Target, right?
I loved him, though. I loved Dolph in that Blade Runner, even though it was Rutger Hauer playing Dolph Lundgren, but I loved him.
Right, it was perfect.
Yeah, I loved
Same thing. Time Cop, Street Fighter, which was Raul Julia's last movie he ever made. Like, can you imagine this guy's like a classically trained actor?
He was in Addams Family too, right? Didn't he play?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you imagine he dies after doing Street Fighter. It's the last movie he ever did. Then he had like Sudden Death. This is another. All of the Van Damme movies were always 2 words. Like it was a compound word or just 2 words together.
Universal Soldier, Double Impact, Cyborg.
That's right. Right?
Nowhere.
Bloodsport. Kickboxer. Lionheart, Death Warrant, Double Impact, right? Well, Nowhere to Run, and forget that, right? But that didn't do very well because they had 3 words in the title.
I think you're forgetting though the pinnacle of his career when his star was the brightest and he brought other stars around him who were just as bright because they wanted to be in a movie with him because he was all that was happening at the time. And I'm talking about Dennis Rodman in Double Team. I guess
2 words. 2
Double
words.
Team, that's right. That's right.
They're like, we need to come up with a name for this movie that alludes to basketball, but is not really about basketball.
Yeah. Dennis Rodman, I think he went from basketball player to U.S. diplomat that's the biggest transformation I've ever seen.
And nobody knew he was a U.S. diplomat. He was like...
He didn't even know it.
He was over in North Korea, and they were like, by the way, we've got Dennis Rodman. And the whole U.S. was like, really? All right. Then Kim Jong-il was like, okay, we'll send him back.
Yeah, I'm tired of housing him.
Maximum risk. Literally, they're all 2 words, except for Legionnaire.
I'm seeing a couple knockoff.
2 words.
How long do you think it would take to go through all of these? 3 hours a movie? It would take several.
Would it take you 3 hours per movie? Really? I mean, like some of these have got to be like, some of these have got to be like an hour and 20 minutes.
92 minutes right here. 85 minutes. Yeah, 86.
Yeah, well, towards the end here, he's just pumping them out, right? Like, you're going to tell me how long was Black Water?
Let me look. I don't know if I have that one here.
He and Dolph Lundgren, they really kind of matched up on these things.
Yeah, I think he went through a period where he just made really bad movies, but towards the end. But I think that there was one movie I think there's a Netflix special, or not a Netflix special, but there's a Netflix show with him in it. I think it's called
was it JCVD?
I think it's JCVD.
Just about him, right?
Well, it's kind of
him playing him.
It's about him. It's about Jean-Claude Van Damme playing like a spy or something, or
a version of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Did you ever see the commercial where he's doing the splits between the trucks?
Oh yeah, that was his. That was his main comeback right there.
He really did that.
No, he didn't.
If you look it up, he really did it. Look it up now.
He did not do that.
Look it up now. He really did it. He really did it. But they filmed it backwards, so when you see the trucks coming apart, they were coming together.
Well, he probably did it, but he had to have something hooked up to him.
No, he did it. He risked his life between the trucks.
All for a truck commercial?
He didn't even care, bro. He's like, I can do the splits.
Yeah, he got a lot of traction out of those splits.
Dude, can you imagine?
I don't know if anyone's gotten as much traction out of splits than he has.
Could you stretch between now, like for the next 45 days, just stretch it out so you could do the horizontal splits?
I would never be able to do that. I could never do that if I stretched the rest of my life.
What was the movie where he was training, where they just tied his legs between 2 trees and the only thing holding him together was his crotchicles? He's getting trained and the guy's just hitting him and he's just got the legs are tied.
I can't remember. I don't know the movie, of course, but
do you think he made
he would
scale?
Do that and
when he did that, you're like, we're going to hang you by your crotchicles.
How can we, gosh, there has to be a way we can get him doing the splits in this movie. How can we do it? Let's hang him by his crotch.
Oh, God. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, if anyone knows the name of that Netflix special where he played himself.
Listen,
he played himself, but he was also a spy or something. I thought it was called...
In the comments, put your
favorite
Jean-Claude put your favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in the comments and your favorite reason why Jean-Claude Van Damme had an accent in his movies. Mine was when he was the French-Canadian firefighter who ran around a hockey arena to keep a bomb from going off.
He was always playing Canadian or Louisiana or some way to have some type of a French accent.
Can you imagine being somebody who has an actual Cajun accent being told that, yes, this is a Cajun accent? Congratulations.
Yeah, that's as bad as maybe Sean Connery's Russian accent.
In Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, in Hunt for Red October.
When I was younger and I was acting, I thought that was a real Russian accent because nobody told me any different. I remember I did that.
Me too.
I did that accent once for an audition, and somebody was like, that's not a Russian accent. You're just doing Sean Connery.
That's Sean Connery as a Russian.
But I'm like, well, I don't know. You got paid to be a Russian. And that was, they're like, no, that's not Russian.
I just messed with my mic, so I probably popped, but that's okay. Okay, well, yeah, leave your comment below, and we're back after 3 months. When you have a run like we did in the beginning,
sometimes you got to take a
sometimes
deep breath.
You just got to take a break. The fame got to us, and we had to take some time off.
Absolutely, had to do some autographs for the fans.
Here we are. Hopefully, we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Later.